Let's get salty!
Everyone, Zeddy here again today with another Whizbang's Workshop card review. It is the last of the mage cards, and Spell Mage looks like it might just be back. It's all three of these cards, including a new puzzle box. Why? Why another puzzle box? So much random has been made that gets enhanced if your deck has no minions. So we're gonna go over all these cards. They're gonna be absolute lunacy. I'm telling you that much right now. Mage looks super crazy, at least randomness this expansion. And if you wanna win some of these random crazy cards, we have a giveaway going on for 4 mega bundles, 2 regular pre-orders out of my pocket. To enter that giveaway, like and comment in the video, link to the description below, the one with that thumbnail over there. Be subscribed to the channel. And if we hit 80,000 subscribers by the end of this Saturday, I will add 2 more mega bundles. So hit that sub button, make me go broke. So let's take a look at the mage cards. One of my favorite archetypes back in the day was no minion mage, and it is back in a big way. First, we have Spot the Difference, a 4 mana spell. Discover a 3-cost minion to summon. So my interpretation is you won't add it to your hand. It'll be purely to summon it. So obviously for 4 mana, absolutely terrible. However, if your deck has no minions, repeat this. So you will summon 2 3-cost minions for 4 mana. You can pick a rush minion, especially like you could get the ogres and stuff like that. Could be a lot of stats for 4 mana. That could be relevant. You literally can only play this though in a deck with no minions. Like there's no chance you're playing a card that just discovers a 3-cost minion to summon, right? That's not a reality. But if you're playing pure no spell mage, or no minion mage, sorry, yeah, no spell mage, that would work really well with this. You're probably wanting to play this, getting a lot of stats on the board, right, for 4 mana, and plus you're playing mostly spells, or all spells. Why do I keep screwing that up? I don't know. We'll just keep going. You're gonna summon a lot of stats and be able to discover. You can proactively do that. It is important to note, of course, it's discover, so you can only get mage minions or neutral minions, not other classes, but overall, I think, I don't know, I want to be a believer of no minion mage. It's one of my favorite archetypes from like Ashes and Outland in particular. It was like the one bright spot of that horrible expansion for me with the Demon Hunter launch, which by the way, we're bringing back day 1 Demon Hunter. Oh my. Anyways, yeah, it's just something I really want to see take off. But one thing that was true from that set was not all the cards that, you know, benefited from your deck having no minions actually saw a good play. Like a lot of the times it's like, actually I probably want to cut one of these cards. It's not worth it. But I'm going to give this a very, very optimistic 3. It probably isn't good enough just to get 2 3-drops for 4 mana. I feel like that's still probably slow, but I want to believe. All right, I want to believe. I'm going to give it 3 out of 5 in standard. And there's a lot more support for this in wild, but yeah, I can't see like a big Encanter's Flow, refreshing spring water, whatever you call it, type of deck popping off there. I'm going to give it a 1. Like, and also the 3-drops. There's so many more worse picks that they'll be in standard right now, right? Like at least right now, the discover pool for 3-cost minions is at the smallest it can be, as this is in the first expansion of a standard rotation. So you only have 4 sets. It gets worse over time, and then yeah, pile all the wild things throughout all of time, it gets pretty bad. So yeah, I'll give it a 1 there, but I'm hopeful this will work. And next we have a card that does look pretty darn terrifying. The Manufacturing Error, a 6 mana spell. You draw 3 cards, which in itself is not great. However, if your deck has no minions, they cost 3 less. This is Skull of Gul'dan, right? Skull of Gul'dan for the same cost as it is in standard, not day 1, but without the outcast requirement, but you have to have no minions in your deck. But that is a lot of mana cheat potentially. 9 mana cheat. We know that was a broken effect back in the day. This is also a 6 mana spell to, you know, juice your big orb legendary payoff. And yeah, you just cycle through, get a bunch of mana cheat. You could probably play like 2 or 3 of those cards, a good chance of doing that. And that's, I just feel like I pretty much have never rated a card that draws cards and cheats a bunch of mana and rate it poorly. Like, I just can't do that. I feel like this spell mage might have a shot. And again, a card like this is what enables that. Yes, it's 6 mana, but it might net you more than that in total mana cheat if your deck's not all just cheap spells. I'm gonna give this a 4 out of 5 in standard. Again, this archetype probably won't work. I don't know. It's probably a very optimistic hope, but Rainbow Mage has like a bunch of, summoning stuff that you just ditch the Sif, the win condition that blows the person up. You're gonna do that, right? For these payoffs. It's totally worth it. So I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5 because it's Skull of Gul'dan for 6 mana without Outcast. It's absolutely broken. And again, in Wild, it's probably too slow, not realistic, but I'm being very optimistic that this is gonna work out because lastly, we have, yes, the return of Puzzle Box, another ridiculous YOGG card. We have YOGG in the Box, an 8 mana shadow spell. You cast 5 random spells if your deck has no minions. The spells cast cost 5 or more. So you just get big, stupid spells, Wheel of Death, Wheel of Death, Wheel of Death, and you could get, I guess, the legendary spell, right? And then that could cast a bunch of spells. In Wild, you could get Puzzle Box or Rude. You could get Sunset Volley, I think it's called. Your deck has the no minions thing going with it. The spells on average are going to be pretty good. A Trial by Fire, there's a lot of good hits. Of course, there's disasters out there, as there always are with these cards. But a new Puzzle Box, a new YOGG Box that actually just straight up benefits you because you're playing no minions is pretty rad in my opinion. You could play this, I suppose, with minions in your deck. You could create it by this, of course, and all that. So it's good to see play in one way or the other. YOGG Location can cast this. Oh my god, YOGG Location can also cast the 10 mana orb thing. This is going to be a ridiculous set. There's so much random nonsense. It's going to be a complete coin flip simulator out there. But yeah, does this card see play? Every single YOGG box has seen played some sort, whether it was Puzzle Box, Rune of the Archmage. I'm saying this sees play. I'm giving it a 4 out of 5. I'm also kind of worried that the YOGG in the Box is a reference to an SNL digital short with the Lonely Island. Something else in the box, but we'll leave it at that. I think it sees play. We're gonna go for it, and it looks like it'll be the only 8 mana spell for Mage to have in standard to juice that legendary spell. I don't think they'll have a 9 mana spell because I believe the Sunwell rotates. So I don't think there's a 9 mana spell available, but 1 through 8, they got this. And yeah, you're going to want to play YOGG in the Box in your no minion mage. I can't wait to play this. Like, I don't care if it's bad. I'm playing this like day one. It's going to be some random nonsense. And what's funny, in Wild, I'm going to give it like a 1. It's too slow. But in Wild, you could play the legendary orb spell and it can cast, if you've already played a 10, 9, and 8, you can cast Puzzle Box, you can cast Root of the Archmage, and you can cast YOGG in the Box all in one spell. How about that? That is a lot of random, but you have to get pretty lucky for that to happen. So yeah, I don't think it's a playable card well, but yeah, Mage kind of gets a really crazy random set. There's like elementals, some freezing, no minion mage, and then Kagnar is just an absolutely busted card. I think Mage players will have a lot of fun trying to figure out if any of this stuff can work, and hopefully something does, because I think a lot of these archetypes should be fun for Mage players, and maybe not so much for the opponents getting massive random spammed at them. So that's it for the Mage reveals. I believe tomorrow is Hunter, and then we're going to the last day with Death Knight getting the final reveals. So stay tuned for all of that. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day and stay salty, my friends.